It's the penultimate stage of Dakar and the last real chance for anyone to impact the results as they stand so far. Today, competitors arrive back here on the shores of the Red Sea, here at Yambu, where the whole adventure started some 2 weeks back. Today, they have to traverse and come back 311 kilometers on the racing stage. It will be pivotal today, Hannah.
It certainly is going to be pivotal, Matt. It's going to be crucial for the competitors. On the show today, however, we've got a portrait with arguably the hero of Dakar 2026. It's Tiziano Inferno, who's competing on two wheels in original bimodal. We're going to have an expert eye with Ford and their Raptor V8 engine. Plus, we're going to bring you highlights across all the different categories as we do each day, plus the special features.
We'll start things out today with the bikes.
We were riding together. Daniel crashed.
Daniel had a big crash.
When we went in through the rocks and the sand, and when you had to grip the bike a lot, it was super tough. Wasn't pleasant, but I'm glad to make it through one more day.
Oh, we're getting close to the end. Things are shaking up.
It's not going to be decided until the last day, I think.
A little bit of strategy today.
I play no strategy like Ricky. I'm doing just what I can do, control what I can control.
I can go hunt rather than put my tail between my legs and start running, you know?
I don't care what they do. I will beat them.
On to the 12th and penultimate stage of Dakar 26, possibly the last opportunity to make a real difference in the overall standings. It's going to be a tough one with a mixture of everything, including rocky sections, soft dunes and tricky navigation. One final push for the title contenders. This morning, there were just those 23 seconds separating the top two, Luciano Benavides and Ricky Brabec, the Argentinian heading out fourth, the American sixth.
The goal is to have a great stage, give my best, grit my teeth until the end and do what I've been doing. Focus on myself, look ahead, and don't think about what's happening behind.
It sucks to say, but I think it's like almost the final push, you know? So we have to do the best job we can and really fight hard today and swing for the fences, aim for the moon, shoot for the stars, you know, all of the above. So yeah, let's do a good job today and hopefully everything falls in our favor and we can wrap this thing up. It'd be super awesome.
Advantage Brabec then, as he was setting off behind Benavides and tends to perform better in the rough stuff. It was Ricky's teammate Skylar Howes leading out after he became the 9th American to win a Dakar stage yesterday. But within 50 or 60 kilometres, he'd been caught by Adrien van Beveren. The Frenchman just taking it easy today, saying he didn't want to get involved in the scrap between the top two. Beautiful shots of these two Hondas surfing the sand, although it was actually quite a tough day for Howes, who was nearly stopped in his tracks by some mechanical woes.
I thought my Dakar was over. I thought today I was going to be out. I looked down at kilometer 100 and my boot is completely covered in oil. The whole back of the bike is covered in oil and there's no oil left in this engine. And so I'm very, very surprised that I even made it here to the finish line. It's honestly a miracle.
Well, despite his issues, Skylar actually moved up a place into 4th overall. He now sits just 10 seconds ahead of Daniel Sanders. The Aussie has gritted his teeth since breaking his collarbone and sternum 2 days ago, but the injury is obviously taking its toll. Another 35 minutes lost today, but he's almost home.
This is torture. Like, it's so hard riding with one arm. I'll be very happy when I see that finish line. Everyone behind me has worked too hard, and this is the least I can do to give back to them after all their hard work and trust in me. And I just want to show them that I go above and beyond for them, and I'll do anything it takes to get a result.
Well, Benavides made a fast start, quickly catching and passing his teammate Edgar Canet. At the first time check, the KTM man was 25 seconds up on Brabec, and it wouldn't be long before he reeled in Howes and van Beveren and was opening the stage. A mixed bag, of course. He was taking bonus time, but this was not an easy day to open. Brabec soon found his rhythm and the momentum began to swing in his favour, even if the American was held up by a herd of camels at one point. Well, no way to go around them, so Ricky just had to be patient. And you'll be happy to hear he wasn't penalised for drafting. Easy. Easy. Once he got through the traffic, there would be no stopping him. Further back, Ross Branch and Bradley Cox were cruising along together. Ross caught up with Brad after an early navigation mistake. The South African also had some trouble with a misbehaving roadbook tablet. As for Branch, the Kalahari Ferrari, he admitted he would have loved to be up there fighting with Ricky and Luciano at this point, but he never recovered from losing his bib moose on the first marathon stage. Branch is set to finish this Dakar in 8th place overall, with Cox just outside the top 10. And they weren't the only ones to link up today. Tony Mulech was caught by his Bass World KTM teammate, Michael Doherty. Slovenian Mulech is out to secure victory in the Rally 2 class and praised Doherty for helping him to push, especially in these sweeping dune sections. Effective team tactics, with Mulech increasing his lead over Preston Campbell to more than 6 minutes now before the final day. Doherty, meanwhile, was the fastest Rally 2 rider on the stage, in 5th overall.
A very demanding day, very hard for me, mentally and also physically. And I'm super happy to ride the stage today together with Mike, and just thanks to him and to everybody who support me.
Benji Mello is closing on his maiden victory in the original by Matul category. The Mali Moto star put almost 10 minutes into his Spanish rival, Josep Pedro, today, and he now leads by 19.5 minutes. It's obviously too early to start celebrating, but the Frenchman is almost there.
Yeah, 100 kilometers tomorrow, or 110, I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I can't wait until tomorrow night. There's still one proper stage to go. We can't underestimate it. Anything can still happen. But I'm happy. Great stage, man. One more to go.
Mason Klein arrived at this Dakar with one very clear goal: to get to the finish line in Yanbu tomorrow. And even if he's had some problems along the way, the American's set to make that happen. He had some adventures on this stage, almost crashing into a car at one point, and he said it was so dry he was chewing on the wind. Mason finished 9th, but almost 24 minutes down on the winner, declaring he had no idea how the front guys were so far ahead. He sits 14th overall. Tosha Sharina has spent the last few days in a bit of a no-man's land. Too far behind Brabec and Benavides to fight for overall victory, and comfortably clear of the guys in 4th and 5th place overall. Barring any accidents tomorrow, he is going to claim a 2nd straight Dakar podium, runner-up last year and 3rd this year. He was also 3rd on the stage, but almost 13 minutes off the pace. And that's because Benavides and Brabec were simply on another level today. Luciano did what he could opening, but he was always going to lose time. With the bonuses, he limited the damage to 3 minutes 43, but it's definitely advantage Brabec.
It was a difficult stage. It was about pushing from the start to finish. I felt good. I pushed as hard as I could. I did my best, so I'm happy with that. Obviously, Ricky has opened up a gap in the overall, and I've lost a bit of time, but there's still one stage to go and anything can happen. So we'll see how it goes.
And so Ricky Brabec finds himself just a day away from joining a very select band indeed, the three-time Dakar winners. Once he got into his flow, the American was sensational, almost catching Luciano at the end, having set off 6 minutes further back. He leads by 3 minutes and 20.
Today was a good outcome, and we're looking pretty positive for tomorrow. Luciano starts second tomorrow. He starts 3 minutes behind me, so my plan tomorrow is just to ride at training pace and just, you know, take it easy and nail the navigation and just bring it on into the finish.
Huge gaps on this 12th stage, as many riders had nothing to fight for. Brabec and Benavides comfortably clear of the rest. It's Ricky's to lose, with Sharina set to complete the overall podium. And given Chucky's injury woes, Skylar Howes will no doubt finish in 4th. A few days ago, we sat down with Italian rider Tiziano Interno, who's back in the original by Motul category this year. He's currently running 8th. This is the story of how he overcame adversity to ride the Dakar.
My story with Dakar started at the age of 7. I remained blind. My father used to speak about Dakar, dunes, desert.
GPS di merda, 2 GPS.
In the garage there was a bike, an Africa Twin. I tried to reach that bike that for me was like the dream to start again to see and to discover the world with my eyes. The miracle happened 2 years after, and I'm here. I decided to try to reconnect to this kind of original spirit. So I decided to start from home, from Italy, and reach Paris. I start from Place du Trocadero.
Eccoci qui, finalmente Parigi.
And I was with that bike, try to imagine what kind of emotion this first pioneer live in Paris. It's not a Paris-Dakar, but it's from Paris to Dakar Rally.
Where is the original class? The original class. Where is
original class.
For me, the real Dakar is original, is Malemoto, because, you know, we are like a family. Okay, we are fighting each other in a dedicated ranking, but first of all, we are here to also help each other. Malemoto riders are kind of brothers, yeah. Brothers of desert. My bike is kind of special because I put 3 bags, more or less 25 kilograms when I started this rally, but now it's lighter.
And I always wondered what you carry in your saddlebags.
Everything.
Now it's the time to show us.
You need a clutch, you need a
filter.
It's like a shop in the desert. It's the only race in the world where you can fight, but also live with the best riders in the car categories, like in Formula 1, and the best riders in the motorcycle, like in MotoGP. At the end, you are an amateur, and you are here with the legend, and it's something super cool. You hate this race maybe when it's too tough, but when you come back home, after 2 or 3 days, you start thinking, and after 2 weeks, you start working on the next edition. It's an adventure, a romantic adventure, so you, your bike, and the desert.
In today's Dakar Explore, we meet with Maha Al-Hamli, a Saudi rally driver who inspires strength and is a real thrill seeker. This is Al-Hamli's adventure, one that started back in 2019. I'm Maha Al-Hamli, Saudi rally driver. My team is called Obeya. Obeya is a name that inspires strength, and I'm very proud to be called Obeya. Before, I had never touched a car. I learnt to drive in 2019 at a driving school. I began to travel through the beautiful regions of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I saw people having fun, climbing dunes, challenging the sand. So I thought it was very easy to drive in the dunes. I tried, and within the first 5 seconds, the car sank into the sand. When I participated in the Toyota Jameel rally, I was the best Saudi woman in the top 10 with 0 experience. The next day, my photo was on the front page of the New York Times. That was a real starting point for me. The first time I drove this vehicle, I found it very difficult because it was easier to flip. Today, I drive it with a lot of ease. I'm able to have fun and enjoy it immensely.
The wind has picked up. Visibility is low with the dust. There's a tempest on the horizon. Perhaps this is the man bringing the storm. A decisive day today, Nani Roma.
Yeah, today it's the important day, you know, but you must to continue like that, like what we did all the weeks, these last 2 weeks. This means that we know how everything changed quick in the rally. It means that we must to keep focus, to be concentrated, not make mistakes. And yeah, we try to do our best like every day.
Well, that's it. Second overall right now. Stage 12. Let's do it.
Yesterday, Henk Latergen went from second overall to out of contention. The South African lost 4 hours, bringing his tumultuous Dakar to an end.
I don't know what to say, but we did fight. You did fight. That's the least you can say. And for sure, when you put the foot down, you got some speed. That's for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're not going to get up and push for a win tomorrow anymore. But yeah, really disappointed. Yeah, sorry for the team, for all the guys. Yeah, that's how it goes. This is Dakar. But we will get up. Yeah, we'll come back next year. We'll work harder this year. Make sure we're more prepared than ever before. Make sure the car's better, we're better, faster. And we won't rely on luck. Luck's not on our side. So we'll make sure we have enough to overcome the unlucky bits as well. Thank you.
With Latergen out of the running, it's Ford versus Dacia for 2026 honours. The order is Dacia Ford in the top 4. Al-Attiyah ahead of Nani Roma, Sebastian Loeb and Matthias Ekstrom.
Where do you start today?
Ekstrom won yesterday's stage, which brought him up into that 4th place. And as a result, he got to open the road today in the magnificent-sounding Ford Raptor. The V8 engine screaming off the line. And despite opening, Ekstrom was on it. He finished 4th on the stage and moved up another spot into the top 3 overall.
I love this sport, and the best training to become a Dakar champion is to take every day serious and do your best every day, because people might not understand, but you only have 13 days of Dakar every year.
After winning the opening stage, Guillaume de Mévius and Mathieu Baumel's rally had rapidly gone downhill. But the fact that Baumel is even competing is something of a miracle after his road accident last year. And when he got to the finish line today, his family were there to greet him. I already wanted to cry during the stage, thinking about how badly we were finishing this Dakar and that it was disappointing. And now to have my family at the finish puts a smile back on my face, because it's a real surprise. It's incredible that they organised this. Janus van Kasteren won the trucks in 2023 and is competing in an ultimate for the first time this year. Stage 10 was the Dutchman's best result of the rally so far, finishing 21st in his Shiver off-road run Century CR7. Christian Lavier and Valentin Sarraud ran into trouble in their MD Rally Sport. A tyre change was needed, but not quite enough attention was paid to the tyre that was coming off. Sarraud was quick off the mark, and a shoulder barge got the errant tyre under control. 3 top 10s in the last 4 stages have brought Eric Gokcho up into 17th overall. It's been an impressive performance from the young Pole in his rookie year in the Ultimates. Victory on stage 9 was the highlight, but another solid 5th place finish today. And although Toby Price has been disappointed with his Dakar performance so far, ultimately it's been a solid effort from the Australian. Last year he had to abandon after 7 stages, but this year he looks to be making it to the end. Another 3rd place finish today, and he lies 8th overall. Second on today's stage, Mitch Guthrie. The American having another strong run in his Ford Raptor, but he wasn't quite able to seal his 2nd stage win of the Dakar, missing out by just 64 seconds. But today's result brings him back into the top 10 in the overall standings. At one point, he passed the stranded Fan. JJ Sport have impressed on their first appearance at the Dakar since 2020. But Fan Gao Tiang ran into trouble in the first 40 kilometres. That would be the end of his day, as they were unable to get going again.
How long time are you here?
Stage 12 was one of the most impressive days of this year's edition of the Dakar. Stunning scenery and challenging driving. It looks like this year will not be Sebastian Loeb's year. 10th time lucky has not worked out. The Frenchman hasn't won any stages, which has been quite the surprise. And every time he looked like he was in a strong position to close in on the rally lead, he hasn't been able to capitalise. There were lots of stones, lots of rocks. We had a good stage until near the finish, and then we got completely lost with 20 kilometers to go. We got lost in big rocks. We didn't know where to go. I was driving in circles on these huge rocks. I was flat out to not get stuck on the rocks, and then we punctured. So we had to change the wheel. We probably lost about 3 minutes with 20 kilometers to go. Carlos Sainz lost time today to the overall lead. A few navigational errors here and there, but overall it was a clean stage. Ultimately, the pace just wasn't there. Remarkably, third yesterday was Sainz's only top 5 stage finish of the Dakar so far. He remains in 5th position, but is now 36 minutes adrift. His hopes of taking a win for Ford look to be over. Nani Roma is 2nd overall, but the Spaniard had a tough day. He lost 4 minutes early on, and the time ebbed away over the remaining kilometres. He was then hit with a 3-minute penalty for being late back to the bivouac after having to repair the car at the finish line. He still sits 2nd, 16 minutes off the lead. Nasser Al-Attiyah, though, is in control. He and Fabian Lercan's advantage is 16 minutes over the rest of the field, with just 105 kilometres remaining tomorrow. Another commanding performance from the Qatari.
Yeah, we did our job, and we did a really amazing stage today. To win this stage and to have a good lead now, really amazing, you know. Yeah, we are so happy. Fabian working very well. Our car, Dacia and Rider working very well, and we are quite happy.
That was Al-Attiyah's 2nd stage win of the year and the 50th in his career. That ties him level in the record books with Ari Vatanen and Stefan Peter Hansel. There will be some interest in whether he can take the lead on that particular statistic tomorrow, but the main focus will be on whether he can tie up his 6th Dakar crown. Henk Latergen came through to finish 9th after starting 23rd on the road in between the 2 Fords of Sainz and Roma. 2 Gokshols in the top 10, while Price, Guthrie and Al-Attiyah fill the top 3 positions. Guthrie's 2nd place moves him up into the top 10, while only 5 minutes separates 6th through 8th. Al-Attiyah's lead is 16 minutes over the chasing Fords heading into the final day. Tao Yongming is one of 6 JJ Sport entries at this year's Dakar.
After coming in 2020, we felt there was a significant gap between us and international racing teams. After several years of effort, we've come in 2026 mainly to learn from the advanced experiences of all the good international racing teams and showcase the progress of our Chinese racing team.
JJ Sport, officially Qinyang Zhujiang Racing Sport Club, are back at the Dakar, more prepared this time for the world's toughest rally raid.
When we first participated in the Dakar in 2020, we only had 3 cars, and all 3 finished the race. Now, 5 years later, we're back at the Dakar with a completely new look. This is because we've developed a new racing car, the JJ3, to showcase its performance. This is preparation for the future, giving the next batch of cars and drivers experience racing.
In Saudi, with twice as many entries this time, the new T1 Plus is powered by a Ford 3.5-litre GTD V6 EcoBoost engine.
The car that I'm driving this year is race number 271, and this is also my first time in the Dakar. The Dakar is a prestigious event for every off-road enthusiast and every off-road team. We all want to take part. It's our dream to come to the Dakar Rally.
4 of the 6 drivers here are rookies.
For the newcomers, the goal is to finish the race, gain experience during the process, and then compete again later.
Each stage has different and particularly challenging terrain, testing both our cars and our drivers. I just want to finish the race smoothly.
A quick makeshift fix for Yazir Seiden to get him through the stage after a bad day on stage 11, notably holding on to his second place in the overall.
It was dangerous one, double caution, and then was a big one. We crashed, we hit tree, and we roll. Good, we were in the 4th tire, so we continued. It was difficult to continue. Anyhow, this is Dakar.
Today, the Saudi had a better day, finishing in 9th place and locked in a close battle with the overall leader in the rally. He remains in 2nd place overall, but doesn't eat into his deficit on the penultimate stage. Another 311 kilometres of important racing ticked off the list. Pau Navarro finished today's stage in 8th place. The Spaniard got through today safely and remains the leader in the Challengers with only 1 day to go. A first Dakar title is almost on the horizon. Already a 2-time stage winner at this Dakar, Lucas Del Rio finished today's stage in 6th place. The Chilean competitor in his Taurus T3 Max was locked in a battle with Daniel Akil, eventually giving way to the Odyssey Academy by BBR driver. Akil has come so close to a stage victory in this year's Dakar, but has been denied by her rivals. Today, the Saudi driver took her 6th podium finish on this Dakar, 2nd place for Akil. Benavides bosses stage 12 on familiar territory. Having already started week 2 with his first victory in the Challenger category, today Kevin Benavides was in command from kilometre 134, his 13th Dakar stage victory.
Nice. You know, I also remember during the stage, this place was the place where I won my first Dakar. So I felt that aura, and I feel it feels nice.
Leader in the overall classification in the SSV category, Brock Hager finished the day in 6th place and lost just over 12 minutes to the day's stage winner. However, the most important thing, he remains in the lead overall. Another excellent performance from Portuguese driver João Monteiro, who took 2nd place on today's stage in his Can-Am in the SSV category. The flying Frenchman, Xavier de Sultre, was a man on a mission on the penultimate stage, roaring into Yambu. Missing the podium by 1 minute and 1 second, de Sultre will be happy that he's retained his place on the podium in the overall standings. On course to take his maiden Dakar stage victory, today, 8-time World Rallycross champion Johan Kristoffersson suffered a major blow after he rolled his car 250 kilometres into the stage. The crew were unharmed, but he lost the lead and finished the day in 10th. Ferrioli flies to another stage victory. Argentinian Jeremias Ferrioli takes his second Dakar stage victory of the rally, having been on the podium every day bar one in week 2. It was only a matter of time before the next one came along. Before Christopherson's crash, Ferrioli was trailing by just over a minute.
The stage was very tricky, very rocky, a difficult one for sure. So this Dakar is going to be tough until the end. We managed our tires good, so we had a clean day.
Today's victory in stock class went to the defender of Sarah Price. It was her third stage victory of this year's Dakar, beating teammates both Petter Hansel and Baciuska by just over 2 minutes. Baciuska is still leading the stock class with almost 4 hours of an advantage over Price, while Pau Navarro leads in challenges and Brock Hager keeps his advantage in SSV. Back to the SSV race, USA's Larry Jansky showed up on the rally with very little experience in rally raids. Alongside experienced co-driver Danny Murphy and in a Can-Am prepared by South Racing, the driver from Connecticut struggled at first, but moved up the standings to the top 20.
This is my first Dakar, and I've raced a lot in Baja in Mexico on motorcycles and 4-wheels. Honestly, I didn't know how I would do in the big dunes, but I'm doing great. So I'm excited to have made it this far. It's great to be here with all the top rally drivers in the world, to be among them and still here in the race, not make any critical mistakes, and learning from the other drivers. It's a privilege, and I feel really good that I've done this well so far. Dakar is the most grueling race in the world. Got to be mentally, emotionally, and physically tough to get through it, and I'll be talking about it for the rest of my life.
Some have the pleasure of witnessing and hearing these amazing vehicles firsthand out in the dunes and the deserts. But for today on Expert Eye, we focus in on the beating heart of the Raptors, the Ford V8.
The first thing you notice is the sound. It's the best sounding truck out there for sure.
The V8 sound is always going to be special, unique, a bit racy.
It's an atmospheric engine. The reality is that the noise is very nice, especially from the outside.
This is our engine. This is the 5-litre Ford Coyote engine that we use in the Raptor. The V designates the shape of the bank angle, and the 8 is 8 cylinders, and normally aspirated means that we are not turbocharged and we just breathe atmospheric air. Many of the other teams are using V6 turbocharged engines. With a turbocharged engine, you can compensate for the altitude very easily. We now run against a torque meter, so we all produce the same performance. So now it's not so important, and the fact that they're turbocharged means that there's many more components that you can have failures with. One of the differences with the driver and the driver's perception is with our normally aspirated engine, we rev it harder. So that's why it sounds so fantastic.
For us, it's really nice in the dunes and in the wadis and the rocks everywhere. To have that instant power when you're not waiting for a turbo, it's great to have the V8.
I don't think there's any specific terrain where we are better or worse. It's something we take for granted as drivers.
At the moment, the car's in service, so you can see some of the front end of the engine. That is the front of the engine that is further back than the bottom of the windscreen. The engine sits completely between the two crew in the car.
entire truck really is packaged around the engine. Also for packaging, for working on things, all the different stuff like that. So when they design the truck in the beginning and they kind of put it all together and see what's going to be the best fit, and looking at it, I think they got it right.
In the T5 trucks, it's Zola that controls the high ground, chased by stage winners, Lepraz and Van der Brink. The top three are a powerhouse at the moment. In relative terms, you could throw a blanket over all three of them. But then again, this is Dakar, and with 2 stages to go, anything can and often does happen.
It may be close to the end, but Dakar isn't here to make things easy. Kai Huizing and co forced into action, not the only ones to suffer on the stones. And trouble for Kai's uncle Gert as well.
Some problems with the steering pump. I don't like it because it's almost the last day, the full last day. We should reach the finish and we should be the assistant for Kai Huizing. We will reach the finish, but it takes a long time. I'm not so happy.
Not a good day for the Huizings. Kai from 4th overall into trucks wilderness. A better day for Martin Schultes as he kept the wheels turning. 140 hours off the best time, so stages have long been the focus. And the Czech trio of Martin, Vlastimil and Tomáš were 3rd for a second special. Mitchell van der Brink knew this was likely now or never. It was always going to be a long shot to recover over 37 minutes, but the Dutchman made sure he put the pressure on.
We pushed very hard because that's all we can do. Let's see who will be faster, but I think we won this one, so we really hope it. Lopré was tipped over in the dunes now, and Zala was stopped as well. So, as Dakar always is, anything can happen.
Well, he got one right. Van der Brink did win the stage, but remained 3rd overall. Low Price was lifted up by fellow De Roy trucker and leader Vaidotas Jala. Mitchell only gaining 12 minutes on the Czech. While Jala said it was a good reminder that you can't count on the finish until you get there. But with a healthy cushion over Mitchell and Loprijs, the Dakar legend is now drama-free, day away from a first Dakar title and Lithuania's first. Mitchell with his 4th win, but he couldn't distance Jala enough to turn the pressure up. Loprijs threw everything at it and was thankful to make it back in 5th. Jala on the cusp of history, 21 minutes in hand. He now just needs to finish the job tomorrow.
We're doing all right on it, actually. Yeah, we're just going to go steady so that I can make decisions and we save the car. We just got to get to the end. We need that medal. Yeah.
Three, 2, 1.
We're gonna eat some dust. Sorry. Yeah, nice and easy.
Yeah, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Sit now.
So what happened?
Well, 3 kilometres to go, we damaged the car and finished on 3 wheels.
Now to the vintage cars and trucks in the Regularity Rally in Dakar Classic. These beauties are always a fan favourite. Let's check out how they got on today.
Another long day for the competitors of Dakar Classic, and with just a few days remaining, some are in survival mode, hoping to accomplish their dream of reaching the finish. Such was the case of Giuseppe Simonato in his Iveco truck, battling it out with Great Britain's Philip Pryor. But an issue on the front wheel of the monster made life just a bit tougher. Still leading the overall is Lithuania's Karolis Raisis, looking good for a first triumph on this Dakar Classic. Meanwhile, after looking great on the flatter sections, Philip Pryor and his navigator David Steer enjoyed their moment in the sand.
Long walk. Yeah, it's a busy job. We thought we'd give it a go.
Lorenzo Fluccia's journey goes on. A regular of the Dakar Classic, he is also the proud father of very promising children in various motorsports.
My name is Lorenzo Fluccia. I race with number 777. Fortunately, I managed to get this number last year, which is my lucky number, and I've been able to keep it this year. We're a family that spends 35 weekends a year racing. Isabel is the one who was my co-driver in 2023. Lorenzo has raced twice in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and Lucas was racing in British Formula 3. The youngest is Luna. She's part of the Mercedes Junior team, and I imagine she'll move on to Formula 1 Academy next. We have a lot of hope that she can become a woman who one day reaches Formula 1. It's almost a full-time commitment. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. For me, the Dakar is about pushing yourself in difficult moments. You prepare a lot for it, more and more, and then there are always problems. After the rest day, we broke the turbo. On day 8, we had an issue with a ball joint and lost the front left wheel. The first half of the rally was really very difficult for us. It's a battle with yourself. It demands the very best from you.
With the penultimate stage wrapped up, we now have more of an idea of who may walk away with the title in 2026. In the cars, as you can see behind me, Nasser becomes part of the 50 club. He's now got 50 stage wins under his belt. He joins the legendary Stefan Peter-Hansel and Ari Vatanen, and he moves closer to another title this year. He goes into tomorrow, 15 minutes in the lead. And for the motorbikes, an incredibly well-timed victory here for Brabek that sees him hold 3 minutes over his arch-rival Benavides. We have 150 kilometers to go, one more stage to go to understand who will be our Dakar champions in 2026.